Hey, I caught a vibe. Ah, yeah, I love that song. So, okay, today we're going to talk about a concept from Neville Goddard's work, and he calls it a mood. Okay, you got to catch the mood. Okay, so again, if you followed me for more than 5 minutes, either on Reddit or here on YouTube, or if you're part of my private Discord, which you should be, then you'll know that for me, everything Neville says is and can be understood as a technique, and right. And so, and again, the thing about techniques is this, and if you know Neville, then you're going to hear this billions of times. The technique never manifests. There's never one time that the technique is manifesting. Okay, so this is very key because you do not want to rely upon a technique. You don't want to rely on the technique. You don't want to rely on your zodiac. You don't want to rely on your star sign. You don't want to rely on a crystal. You don't want to rely on going to church. You don't want to rely on reading the Bible. Whatever it is that you think is getting you into the state, it's not. Okay, it's helping you, it can guide you, it can assist you, but you are the one who's getting into the state. So you want to get to the point, and it may take you 6 minutes, it may take you 60 years. Whatever the timeline is, doesn't matter. But just know that you have to trust yourself. The power is always here, not out there. Okay, you never give it away. All right. So let's talk about his notion of mood and how you can use this as a way to manifest, not only just manifest, but manifest quicker. And I'm going to explain why. Okay, so catching the mood is essentially understanding that a mood is an atmosphere. Okay, so like the song at the beginning, right, from Willow Smith, I caught a vibe, right? And I just don't like using the word vibe because it's been overused in this community, and it's always about vibration, and it goes straight to woo, and I'm not woo. So what I want to do is I want you to understand when you hear the word mood, I want you to replace it with atmosphere. But it's not just an atmosphere, it's an electricity. It is a feeling based atmosphere. It's an emotional, right? It's an emotionally electric atmosphere. So let me set the scene. Like you're walking into a party, right? And it's maybe a regal party and you're dressed in like a three-piece suit, or you're dressed in like a regal gown, or whatever it is that you prefer to dress in, right? And you're walking in and everything just feels alive. It just feels electric and you feel like you're part of it, right? But not just that. And this is the key to understanding what Neville is saying when he says catch the mood. Because the mood isn't just you catching the mood. You're catching the atmosphere, which itself is a mood. The whole environment that you're interacting in, that you've created, is mirroring the same exact emotional electric energy. Okay, so this is very, very key and very important when you're creating your scenes. Now, can you use this tip without creating scenes? Let's say if you have aphasia, or if you have, let's say, an inability to create scenes, or whatever it is, can you use this 100%, right? Because you can use what Neville refers to as the lullaby method. I'm going to explain that more in another video, right? Because again, people use that as a basic understanding of affirmations, and it's more than that, okay? Um, but the mood itself is developing how you're experiencing what you're giving yourself. And that's what the scene is. Remember, a scene is always you gifting yourself something. But you're not gifting yourself something because you lack it. You're giving yourself something in the scene because it's already yours. Do you hear that difference? And so the mood that you are creating is elevating the alreadiness of you being the person. I know that's just a word that I made up. I'm going to have my own dictionary book you can buy one day. But the alreadiness means that you are already that person. So the mood is only already reflecting what you already have accepted true as yourself, but then already everybody that's in the room with you. So if it's one person and it's a friend, not at a party because that'd be weird. It's like a two-person party. That's just called a date. But I mean, basically, what you want to do is you want to generate, and this is where Neville's technique about, intensifying to the nth degree is very important, because you're intensifying the mood of, lavish income, What does that look like to you? Like, what would that look like to you? And what would that mood be like? And the scene itself doesn't matter because it's the mood that you want to catch, right? And so the mood that you're creating is the mood that you want to sustain and live in during this scene. And you want to also, here's a little technique. Neville actually did this himself. You want to see the world from that perspective. So then if you're in the scene and you're having a conversation or whatever you're doing, or you're performing that one action that you repeat, right? Have a thought within the scene about looking back to where you live, looking back at driving your car home, thinking a thought within a thought. So think of like Inception, right? And you're creating that thought from, oh, I can't wait to go back home to my mansion. And you don't have to mention it, but you have to just feel the truth of already feeling the lavish income. It's not something that you're going to get. You already are it, right? And so in the scene, the mood is supposed to not only elevate it, which that should be part one, but reflect it. And so I want you to keep in mind that that's what Neville is talking about when he's really exploring this idea of mood as technique. You want to catch it. Now, what happens in 3D? What happens when you step out of that scene and you're in a dirty old apartment with like 10 rats that you've named? Whatever that is, okay, you still can hold on to that mood. Why? Because you can still have and choose emotions. Okay. This is another thing that Neville is talking about when he's saying catching the mood. You can choose emotions. Okay. The problem is that even science and eighth grade science and biology has taught us that there's certain processes within our body that are either out of our control or inert or just there, right? We just accept it. And so Neville is arguing against that 100%. And what's really interesting is neuroscience is catching up with that, right? And so, and it's showing and sharing with us that emotions themselves are choices. And all of those choices are predicated on the past experiences. So if you're going in and creating moods that are mixed and they're all over the shop, that's what you're going to be experiencing. So you want to always have a clear mood. This is why Neville says start out with a clear desire, right? Clear desire doesn't just mean how much detail or how much you're clear on the details. It means how much are you clear on how strong that desire is? How much do you think you deserve it, right? So clarity is a multifunctional word for Neville, right? It doesn't just mean one thing, it means many things at once, okay? So when you go in, you want to have this clarity, right? You want to bring the emotion in with you. You want to walk into the ballroom already that person, all right? And then just sit in there and marinate, okay? And again, if you can't create, just sit in that mood, right? And be saying things like, oh, I love my lavish house. I love my lavish income. I love my amazing SP. Whatever it is. And obviously don't call them SP. I don't like SP. So fill in their name. Personalize it. Always personalize it. Make it your own. Because your version of a ballroom, like soiree, is going to be very different from mine. Right? So make it your own and catch that mood. But remember, it's not just you that's caught the mood. It's all the objects, it's the music, it's the other people. It's a mental ecosystem that you're creating. That's what the word mood means. You're creating the mental framework and ecosystem and the mental experience of you being in it. Think of it like a circumference, a donut, a circle. No, now I want a donut. But I mean, like basically something that you are encompassed with. Okay? That's what it means to catch the mood. So try this out. Let me know how it works. Let me know if you've ever tried this technique before. Share your details and how it's worked for you below. So thank you very much. Much love to you guys all. Stay safe.